Spinach and corn rice is a delicious, flavorful, healthy alternative to plain rice. It's also a great way to use your leftover cooked rice sitting in your refrigerator. Whether you make this with fresh rice or leftover rice, spinach rice is one dish that is going to leave you asking for more. In Poonam's kitchen today, let's make spinach and corn rice. Here I have 1 cup of long grain basmati rice that is soaked in 2 cups of water for 30 minutes. I'll strain this in another bowl so that I can use this strained rice for the recipe. Here I have set 3 cups of water for boiling at medium heat. To this I'll add 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Not all of this salt will count towards the final salt in the spinach rice. Some of this will be drained away. To this I'll add the strained rice and a teaspoon of oil. I'll give this a mix and reduce the heat to between low and medium. And I'll cover this with a lid. I use a lid with a vent, something like this, or partially cover the lid. Now this will prevent the rice from overflowing. Now I'm looking to cook this for say 4 to 5 minutes or until it is 90% done. It's been 4 minutes and I'll check on the rice. I'll crush a few rice grains between my 2 fingers. Now this is exactly what I want, almost there, just 90%. I'll strain this rice onto another bowl. By soaking the raw rice and straining like this, we get rid of some of the excess starch. This will prevent clumping of the rice grains later. Now if you're using leftover rice, make sure that they are cold sitting in the refrigerator. I'll put this rice aside for a while, let it cool down a little. In the meantime, I'll prepare the spinach. Here I'm setting a pan to heat at medium. Once the pan is warm, I'll reduce the heat to low and transfer 1 1/2 tablespoon of desi ghee. If you wish, you may use unsalted butter. I'll allow this to melt. And once the ghee is warm, I'll add a heaped teaspoon of cumin seeds. That is jeera in Hindi. Allow this to crackle. To this I'll add 1 tablespoon of ginger paste and 1 teaspoon of green chili paste. I always have these pastes in my freezer. If you're making these fresh, then you may use a paste or you may chop them very fine, both the ginger and the green chili. Heat is at now low-medium. I'll slightly saute this and add 3/4 cups of chopped onions. I chopped the onion fine so as to match the corn that I'll be adding later to the rice. I'll saute these till they turn pink. I'll add very little turmeric powder just for little color and fry this at low heat. Always add dry spices at low heat to prevent them from burning. I'll add a teaspoon of coriander powder and fry this as well. To this I'll add 3 cups of finely chopped spinach. I chopped the spinach leaves and the tender stalks. I did not use the tough stalks. Once the spinach has wilted, the tough stalks look very unpresentable in the rice. I'll mix in everything. To this I'll add 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Now raw spinach is already rich in sodium, so we have to be extra careful about the salt we add. You can always adjust the salt later. 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder. Now I have already added the green chili paste, so going low on the red chili powder. You go according to your family's taste. To this I'll add 3/4 cups of corn. I'm using frozen corn that I have thawed to room temperature. Mix this in. The spinach softens very fast and so does the corn. So just 2 to 3 minutes. After adding the spinach, I can add the rice. Here's the strained rice. Rice was sitting uncovered onto the strainer for a few minutes. That ensured that the surface moisture has evaporated. And since the surface moisture has evaporated, the rice grains will not clump together, giving this spinach rice the perfect texture. I'll toss this in very gently. The rice is very tender right now and I don't really want to break the rice grains, so that's why going gentle. To the rice I'll add 1/3 teaspoon garam masala. Mix it in. For this recipe, if you're using leftover rice, rice that had been cooked completely, like 100%, then make sure that it is cold so that it doesn't break at this stage. Now for some flavor and to keep the rice grains separate, I'll add in 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Little something more about the leftover rice. Now the cold rice that was sitting in the refrigerator also gets a chance to clump up. So before you put in the rice in the pan, break it with your hands so that the rice grains separate into individual grains. And did I tell you that I increased the heat to high after adding in the rice? So I was tossing all the rice at high heat so that the rice warm up. I'll cover this with a lid and cook for another minute or until the rice is completely cooked. It's been a minute and the rice is ready. I checked for the salt and the spices. I need 1/5 teaspoon salt, more in this. Adjust the salt according to your family's taste. I'll mix in the salt. And now if you were using cold rice, then you might not need any more cooking, so you won't need to cover with the lid in that case. Remember, I had cooked my rice only till 90% doneness, so there was something still pending, so that's why I covered the rice with the lid and completed the cooking. Spinach corn rice is ready to be served. I'll transfer this to the serving bowl. Garnish this with chopped nuts like almonds and walnuts. They provide a nice crunch to the dish. The lightly sauteed onions and the corn give a tender bite. The rice grains are separate enough from each other so that you can taste and appreciate their texture. And the crowning glory, you can enjoy spinach and corn rice just by itself. You do not need anything else to go with it. It's perfect by itself. You can find the written recipe for spinach and corn rice on my blog, the link to which is given in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked my recipe. If you liked it, do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Poonam's Kitchen on YouTube. A click on my picture on the screen will take you to Poonam's Kitchen on YouTube. Thanks once again. I'll see you again with a new recipe very soon. Till then, bye.